the most surprising opinions I've seen on the internet is that Puella Magi Madoka Magica isn't a magical girl anime and shouldn't be considered for someone's entry into the genre. Every time I post something about it, I get emotionally charged comments with people telling me that I shouldn't suggest it at all. This show right here, this isn't a magical girl show? I mean, well, I suppose we should look into it, though. Let's see what Wikipedia says. Here we go. It's a magical girl show. I'm right. You're wrong. Cue the credits. Though, really, I'm not about to completely trust the website that says Chi Sweet Home is a seinen manga. I want to pursue the answer for myself. Is Puella Magi Madoka Magica a magical girl series or not? Let's discuss. The most common thought I see is that it isn't a magical girl show because it's a deconstruction. What's a deconstruction? According to TV tropes, deconstruction means, quote, to take apart a trope so as to better understand its meaning and relevance to us in real life. This often means pursuing a trope's inherent contradictions and the difference between how the trope appears in this one work and how it compares to other relevant tropes or ideas both in fiction and real life. I would agree that Madoka uses deconstruction as a way to tell its story in comparison to other magical girl anime, but I would not define it as a deconstruction itself. What do I mean by this? Take another anime, that of Bobobo Bobo Bobo. Bobobo deconstructs many anime and manga tropes, specifically that of shonen series. It frequently makes fun of an overpowered protagonist, the concept of friendship conquering evil, a useless girl sidekick, and so much more. Bobobo deconstructs shonen tropes, but is it still shonen? Of course. It may distort and play off of many of the tropes that make shonen what it is, but it's still a shonen action series through and through. Bobobo and his friends have a goal to defeat the Maruhage Empire. They accomplish this goal by growing in power and relying on the help of friends. It may deconstruct shonen tropes, but it is still shonen. So let's go back to Madoka. According to TV tropes, Madoka deconstructs many magical girl tropes, but these three the most. The henshin item, or the transformation item, the perks of being a magical girl, and the mascot or sidekick character. Sure, the transformation items are actually their souls locked away in a physical state. Yes, the perks to being a magical girl in this world are not the same as they are in other series, and you'd hardly find a mascot like Kyubey who is more of an antagonist than a friend. I would still consider it a magical girl show, though, despite all these differences. See, here's what I don't get. How come Madoka gets scrutinized for making changes when nearly every magical girl show out there is challenging the format? I've seen magical girl shows that feature protagonists based on animals. I've seen magical boys. There are even magical girl shows like Saint Tail where the characters use magic tricks or other mundane methods to save the day. How come some magical girl series can change elements and still be considered part of the genre, but others can't? Madoka is about magical girls and their struggle to make the world a better place for themselves and for others. This doesn't change just because some elements are different from other magical girl shows. Sure, the girls aren't fighting for truth and justice, but plenty of magical girls these days aren't doing that. Take the early 2000s Princess Tutu, for example, where the protagonist's initial motivation is to save and befriend just one individual. This series took a deconstructive approach to magical girl series years before Madoka, and you would hardly find anyone openly calling it anything but a magical girl series. It's just a different kind of magical girl series. And the thing is, and this might surprise a few people, Madoka isn't even that dark. Take these quotes for example. My friends are dead. I can't believe it. Why does death come calling so suddenly and quickly? Does putting a stop to the war mean everything will come to an end? And will I be the one to end all life this time? You know, I've never ever fought for the sake of peace or justice. I've only been fighting to protect those I love, for my comrades. You know who said those things? Sailor Moon, the most popular and influential magical girl out there. Yes, the Sailor Moon manga, in my opinion, is just as dark, if not darker, than Madoka. It features the deaths of many magical girls and their family and friends, no-win situations, gore, sexual content, and conflicts between magical girls. The content you see in Madoka is nothing compared to that of the content of the final arc of the Sailor Moon manga. Those who claim Madoka isn't a magical girl series because of its dark elements have clearly not read or seen enough magical girl content. Now I'd like to address two other points that I'm sure will come up now that I've made this argument. The first is intention. Many magical girl fans say that Madoka isn't a true magical girl series because it was made to be enjoyed by men. This argument boggles me, especially considering Shaft made it clear that Madoka was to be a magical girl series enjoyed by anyone, not just men. I think the thing people get most concerned about is that Madoka has figures and other merchandise based on fan service. I hate to break this to fans, but even Sailor Moon merchandise has plenty of fan service to go around. In the context of the show alone, though, there is hardly any fan service. Really, the only complaints I've seen are about Mommy, which is a very childish sort of complaint in my opinion, because people argue her character design is bad because her breasts are big. I mean, really? She's got nothing compared to mainstream anime, and, in my opinion, the shape and size of her breasts in comparison to the other girls only reflects her image as a mother, or mommy. But God forbid breasts be seen as anything but sexual, right? And on the whole guys enjoying Madoka thing, one of my favorite vocal Sailor Moon fans is a man named Evan McIsaac. His YouTube channel is incredible. He's reviewed all 200 episodes of Sailor Moon and so much more. Is he less of a Sailor Moon fan than I am simply because he's male? I find that to be an awful thought and wouldn't even dare to consider it valid. Another point people like to bring up is that Gen Urobuchi, master of dark and depressing stories, worked on Madoka. Some people say that because he worked on it, it's not a real magical girl series. Imagine for a moment that Satan came out of the depths of hell to write a children's television show. Say he actually does a really good job and the show is a critical hit. Is it not a children's television show because the Lord of Darkness worked on it? Sure, Satan might have had an alternate mindset going into it, but it doesn't take away the fact that the resulting product is still a children's television show. Likewise, it doesn't matter who brought Madoka into fruition. It's still a magical girl series. And if we were to follow all of the arguments I've just presented, do you know what else we would have to consider a magical girl show? Kill la Kill. In my opinion, one only needs to understand the basic tropes of the magical girl genre to get a full experience out of Madoka. You don't need to watch 200 episodes of Sailor Moon or 13 seasons of Pretty Cure to get the most out of it. Anime fans shouldn't be expected to watch magical girl shows that are years or decades old just to enjoy this series. Puella Magi Madoka Magica has deconstructing elements, but as it stands, it is a magical girl anime of its own right, and I wouldn't hesitate to call it anything else. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out. And until next time, this is CJ, signing off.